We know vex enough, oh. We know vex enough. We know vex enough, oh. We know vex enough. They insult us so much, I wonder why we know vex. They have pushed our every button, oh, I wonder what is next. Monkey they walk, baboon they chop, baboon they chop. Them no they stop, them no they stop. So them belly pop, but them still they chop. Them go they chop, oh, all the money, oh. So development with the money, oh. No libby, no lava lava. I swear, this time we no go take them yawa. No gangalea, one bagawaya. I swear, this time they go sell that one yawa.
Radio,
present in every danger. At the end of this year, waiting you get my dear. As it get become clear that these people they don't care. We know vex enough. No vex enough.
If you think about these things, your head goes scatter. If you think about these things, your head goes scatter. Honestly, finish for this country we call Ghana. If you think about these things, your head goes scatter. If you think about these things, your head goes scatter. Honestly, finish for this country we call Ghana.
1212 Radio Culture. Yes, indeed. Welcome once again to Weekend Editorial on Radio Culture. We've been on a hiatus for a little bit. We do sincerely apologize for the break, but again, you will bear us witness that we did give indication that the studio, our studio one in Texas, USA, is going through some remodeling, and so we had to necessarily go off air. We went completely off air, to be honest with you, but we had to suspend some of our programming for a little bit just to make sure that we make way for the remodeling process and the retooling process to complete. Now, I'm proud to say that we are almost like 98% through that process, and so we are able to come back to you with our programming. I am having a few challenges with my sound at this point, though. It's something to do with the levels, and this is what happens when you you just let go of a technician and you start having issues. I'll be right back with you people. I'll be right back. We know vex enough. We know vex enough. We know vex enough. We know vex enough. Contra 56 ambulance and 200,008 signature. We know vex enough. We know vex enough. We know vex enough. We know vex enough. They insult us so much, I wonder why we know vex. They have pushed our every button, oh, I wonder what is next. Monkey they walk, baboon they chop, baboon they chop. Them no they stop, them no they stop. So them belly pop, but them still they chop. Them go they chop, oh, all the money, oh. No development with the money, oh. No libby, no lava lava. I swear, this time we no go take them yawa. No gangalea, one bagawaya. I swear, this time they go sell that one yawa. You say you be food soldier, they follow party matter. They carry all God dirty water. Present in every danger. At the end of this year. Okie dokie. All right. Thank you very much for your patience. I don't know, man. My headphones were all manner of ways, and online radio, man, working with remote technicians and all that comes with its own package, you know. But we give thanks because we are able to still reach our audience. And so we give thanks. Our audience who are listening to us right now on our homepage, www.ghnewsnow.com, which is our homepage. Thank you if you're doing the listening on that platform. We're also live on modernghana.com. You go to Modern Ghana, you search Radio Culture, we're live on there too. And we're also live on about 10 or so other platforms, including my Tuna Radio. We are also activated fully on our app. Search for the app, download the app, please. And this is a special request for you to please go to the Play Store and go download Radio Culture. Culture spelled Kulcha. Radio Culture. Okay, now at the end of that, let's get straight to brass tacks because, and then assembly does, and then we also have some follow-up programming coming straight after this show. So let's get straight down to brass tacks. What are we looking at today? Today we're looking at the president's body language, President Akufo-Addo's body language to Ghanaians, and how we as a people have tolerated his nonsense for this whole time. You know, we've come a very long way as a country. We've tried hard to establish the fact that politicians are not monarchs. Politicians are not our masters. Politicians are our servants who are supposed to be serving us, who are supposed to be running errands for us, basically, doing things for us, not lording it over us. But this president, you know, and I try hard not to, I try hard to use printable words, so to speak, for this president. But I also realize that sometimes the only way these people, the only way to get their attention is to use unprintable stuff on them. And that's the only way you can get their attention. That's been proven many times over, right? Because you can use all the broth. Obiti said Chemawun to me. So let me give this as an example. Chemawun to me saying all the foolish things that he was saying about Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman. The professor Chemawun to me said produce and it's penny Nana Opoku-Agyeman in anything at all on this earth. Anything. Mention anything apart from tomfoolery and greed for money. These are the only two things that to me will surpass Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman in. Otherwise, age, wisdom, qualification, whatever, and everything. Everything. But you have somebody like Yakan is saying, to me, going to insult Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, and then you go and sit on radio and be like, oh, and then this, to me on Tiasiempo. On Tiasie cry. The only thing about Tiasie over chance I want to show you Jimmy, then they will understand that. Unfortunately, some of us we don't do too well in that category, that department. You know. But we've realized sometimes if you employ a little bit of that into what you are saying now, it makes the impact because then people get to understand what you're saying, including to me who cannot understand intellectual stuff. Because you could a Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman term na one country and China, and that's how kasa on Tiasia. Oto Boba Bosnataso, and now to the cotton wool about Osnataso, and any tree. Next time you find him doing the same nonsense again. That said, let's stay on topic. We're here to talk about Akufo-Addo's body language towards Ghanaians, right? And you might notice he said Akufo-Addo, since he came to power, he has progressively shown Ghanaians that he does not respect us. And for some reason, we have dealt with it. We haven't said much about it. You have watched this guy just ride roughshod over the whole country with his nonsense. To the point where now he goes to chiefs and he's asking them to stand up and greet him. Akufo-Addo, first of all, it shows, it reeks of a lack of self-confidence. Or confidence, or respect, true, proper respect. And respect. Obe rada bi mu a obeka che obi asa onsori ngina ho ntia ne da. Let's put aside the fact say omo yo hene na afei traditional cry say mom sorry no. Let's even put that aside. So ura dan bi mu, that's a group of students. Ewo dan nim, that's omo sorry naturally and chiawa. The fault is yours, not theirs. Akufado, onye bibia ebema se ura dan bi mu was so be sorry chiawo. Let's let that be clear to you. Onye she no ebema enu to say ura dan bi mu a ebe prompt you be say, oh, look at Akufado, my sorry. Now what Akufado ye catch you after you leave power no, and I will be who odian kasa e Ghana. Sisi na wo kra power na wo timi smart tax from koto to petrol bomb to radio stations this time kwasa asem no. Enti na ma font entimi come wadwen chel fully. Unya ja konya ne to ho and akonya no so be ja to ho. Let's let you hear that. With that nonsense foolish talk you going around saying then now I won't you can't say I won't hand over to somebody that I beat twice. Stupid, you beat him just once. When Ghanaians were tricked into into thinking that you were better than him. I mean John Mahama. So they voted for you 2016, yes, granted. And John Mahama and everybody had accepted that, and then they handed over to you. Only 4 years down the line, they realized that you were trash. So they voted you out again. And then you got Jean Mensa to steal the election for you. So don't come here talking any nonsense about somebody you beat twice. And then this is some of the things that I expect you to respond to. Because Obeki can send kitten bisa subliminally one check here that it becomes the fact, it gets printed. He never beat John Mahama twice. He beat John Mahama once. The second time, 8 people were killed and the election was stolen for him. He did not beat John Mahama twice. So let's make that clear. But you have this guy, you have this Akufado guy, whoever the hell he thinks he is. And excuse my French, but worse than hell will come out of my mouth today because the way this guy is treating Ghanaians, no, it's not, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Let's look at some of the things Akufo-Addo clearly say. He does not give a toss about us as Ghanaians. One single bit. Akufo-Addo goes to commission the Ameri plant. The same plant now, or say a year chrono dear one there all kinds of things he said about the Ameri plant. And then he goes on ferry. Now in some Yabeke Kano, in terms of in sequence, in terms of chronological appearance, right? We're just listing a number of things Akufo-Addo a chest of Jimmy. Because after telling us all the nonsense that he told us about John Mahama's Ameri plant, no, he went ahead to go bring it to Kumasi. Now, when do Kumasi so he's making it look as if say your non project be, and then the worst part is that he's telling us say we should open our eyes. God should open people's eyes to see the things. Now, what we would. Oh Lord, thank you very much for holding for like one say me bold, nice break. We come back say nothing with Jimmy Anna. But who say I try to stay away from language like that. But Akufo-Addo, are you serious? Oko Kumasi, oti ahemfo n'anim. Ahemfo na Kumasi hɔ na no a otumfo ɔsɛ tutu ɛsi ɔpɛ sika akɔ siesie ɔkɔmfa nɔkye teaching hospital no. The same Kumasi hɔ na yɛ catch regional minister and say ombo 5 projects. And yet in Kumasi, in the entire Ashanti region, I went to Miambono. The same Kumasi Honwa, same regional minister, Eko Jina, same Otumfuenim, Eko Kacheni say, it's a projects no, and Yadia, Dibeba bio now you all these things or kind in ano. Once so be jan catch almost say, Yakupon bio mwini, no muhu adia, won kwa and a won in your delusion akufado. Onkwa and a who sa adiana wokano in your delusion. And I think you should go get some medical attention instead of trying to bring us down into your delusion because nobody sees jack. Only you see that nonsense of whatever thing you call a project that you're talking about. So you come and just talk to us anyhow. Naka why I didn't say can you and who has Yankupon baby obi? Can you ana? Why I didn't see Honoma and who has Yankupon baby obi? Because Yankupon be obi any that when your spiritual eyes any who project so because Yankupon be obi na onya vision be any idea, then we know what you're talking about. But Yankupon be obi any now all schools and hospitals are wisi. When God has already given us eyes that we can use to see if the schools and hospitals are there, Kufado, are you crazy? Abba, you can, I mean, at this point, Akufado, we have to speak to you the way you speak to us. Because some say, okay, French, now you can't English, we are not communicating. When you tell us we're stupid, we should chuck it back at you, and then that way we'll be communicating, we'll understand each other. Because how dare you to go say some nonsense like that? We don't have time. Let's push it along. Akufado say, a bit na me say no, or say, hand it over Mobia will beating it twice. Thinking say Ghanaians are stupid enough to think say he actually decently won the 2020 elections. You did not win that election, sir. How did 8 people die? How did they, up till today? Let's bring out Jean Mensa and ask her to give us the actual results. Or did you to declare a president? Let's bring Jean Mensa out and ask her. She can't tell us. But you're there telling us, oh, they will win elections. This guy. Na mama yanko yechi, mumi mbun komponko yechi. Then ko share no ma bi so a waya. And no, I'm saying young Kahushi. Let's take this brother called Gregory Afoko. Greg Afoko. And anybody who is a friend of this show, anybody who's been following this show, knows how many times we've talked about Greg Afoko, who's a brother of the Omu chairman Nomu Eyi Nedino. You can't say MPP chairman Omu Eyi Nedino. But he is paying a price for something that he's obeying in the politics. No, the brother Greg Afoko is paying. Greg Afoko, as we speak, is still in prison. And if you don't know the backstory to Greg Afoko's story now, Greg Afoko was accused of some murder case or something like that, along those lines, right? Greg was taken to court. They could not prove that Greg did it. One of the witnesses actually came out to say, Asemna Okan initially, evidence not given initially against Greg, no, it's not true. So the court ordered that Greg be given or be granted bail. I mean, yes, they're still investigating the issue. But Greg, at this point or at that point, had not been proven to be the person who did the murder. So give him bail while the investigation is still going on. Order from above. Akufado orders Greg Afoko to be kept in prison in spite of the fact that a court of competent jurisdiction has you kind of saying, judge that Greg Afoko be given bail. And now for almost 8 years, now, Greg Afoko is in prison for a crime that has not been proven that he committed, for a crime that somebody has come out to confess that he gave false evidence against him for. And so Akufo-Addo said, yeah, we're an enemy, I know the power, he should be able to have the power to put you in jail. Ghanaians are quiet. Why are Ghanaians quiet over Gregory Afoko? How many times do you hear the name Gregory Afoko? For 8 years. The media, the press, no disrespect, But because it's in the media and it was all over the place and everybody was focused on that. How about Gregory Afoko? Free Gregory Afoko. And John Mahama, I'm giving you this challenge. If this clueless, feckless president refuses to do that, which is very likely he's going to do, when you come to power, within the first week, please free Gregory Afoko. Please, John Mahama. First week now, you best swear in no. Free Gregory Afoko. To show that you are committed to free speech, you are committed to a free and just society. A judiciary that works and functions for the people, not for the whims and caprices of some useless president. Deal with it the same way we are dealing with your nonsense for all these years. Akufo-Addo is the same person almost setting up vigilante group inside the castle. Have we forgotten this? Inside Osu Castle, there was a group of young people training there, paramilitary group training there. When Manasseh Azure went to go bring this issue out, they came up with a whole flurry of nonsense to explain that. John Paul Nkrumah came out with some nonsense about said they weren't aware. If you're a government and somebody can set up a paramilitary group in the Osu Castle, which used to be the seat of government, that's a Unima, then you're a useless government and you don't need to be there. Then you need to, from the president all the way down to whoever the last person is in the government, resign immediately. Because we are not safe under you. Obi Betimia setting up a paramilitary group in the castle, not only aware as a government. You are useless. But yes, this is what Akufo-Addo did. This is the same Akufo-Addo who goes to his own stronghold. And they tell him, say, Nana, because Akufo-Addo agenda no, and your NPP agenda. We are NPP ni, na say yo Akufo-Addo our plans for NPP as a party. You are being daft. Akufo-Addo needed NPP as a vehicle to achieve what he wants to achieve. He's already done that. He does not care. Akufo-Addo's only interest in the NPP right now is putting Bawumia in place to cover up for him for a certain period of time to let him. Because if, God forbid, Bawumia becomes the next president, what it means is that for at least 4 years, they have time to cover all the nonsense that these people have done in the 8 years. And that's exactly what Akufo-Addo wants. Beyond that, he does not care about your party. If he cared about your party, because on within it, your person Akufo-Addo, the same person or only chief secretary, not the Nessa left, no or the Nessa left. Akufo-Addo is the same person that Okoko Jina Gaman Chekache say, ye person can consider renaming Greater Accra region, you can say Ghana Dangbe region. I know more than money, but I mean, Akufo-Addo, you could have dealt it. You could have dealt with that better. Once Akufo-Addo has no tact, no diplomacy, none, zero. No tact, no diplomacy. If you had any tact and diplomacy, and can be say you catch on some of can say, oh, Nana, ni mate. But Akufo-Addo wants to show this chief that he doesn't respect him. He has made sometimes I hear me say, or will beef with some people, and should that take it time to get back at them? Because as some kind they think should that oh, my opinion, your region and Kepesenka all consider so your friend Ghana Dangbe region instead of Greater Accra region. Oh, okay, yo. Afina waka mate intino. Bedebe kwa dream. Uko office oduma, trust me. Upa onya hoshe, nothing will happen. But just don't show in public. Say own respected chief. No, men yes, uncle says now. Akufo-Addo was there like I didn't know the what is wrong with this guy? Why is he so puffed up? Akufo-Addo ye president a wonye nyankopon. Who ye president is only for 8 years maximum. Speaking of which, I was having a discussion with my brother yesterday, and then he was saying something quite interesting. Say the constitution doesn't actually even mention say we are president, we are won't mean your vice president. So maybe Baumia should actually choose Akufo-Addo as his vice president and call it a day, right? Yes, Baumia choose Akufo-Addo as your vice president. The constitution doesn't say anything about that. Say won't mean yes, sir. So I guess it's a matter that can be tested in court or whatever. But vice president or a powerful chair president. Anyway, but look at Akufo-Addo. Look at Akufo-Addo. I say you can't saying South referencing e-levy. Akufo-Addo say SMD Ghana. I'm giving you e-levy whether you like it or not. And after the my year and no sense to send it to Sanko IMF good so. And no Sanko IMF free no San back to San loading more taxes on top of that. Because Ghana for Jimmy, Ghana for a docile. Ghana for to me bibia. To be judged or pibia Ghana for. He has no respect. None. Zero. So Okoko share Otumfo. Who he knows say on me in funny saying who name because Akufo-Addo him very well say so try BBC with Asante here the backlash will be massive into on try sir. And this I'm sure person go be try sir, but even then no cry no. Or trying in some subliminal ways because how dare you say obe catch obe throw BB obe throw speech and they are smart saying fan konkoma Otumfo say on kind. How dare you? How dare you Akufo-Addo? So on jina ni pemu enye sansen huna oditre gaman chene angrafon hine no sa no mani na onye bisao. But even with Otumfo no, he dares to write a speech. Someone from Komo Otumfo say on kind sa same we say. Asen ken Otumfo na kasa. Eno jina ni na so kase debi. How dare you mean yes sa de no a. Na ka yetete honom na ka hine kase te say Otumfo o say tutu. Na obi te say Akufo-Addo actual speech say yemfambema no kind to deceive Ghanaians. Ombuye. Ombugana for cry. This is the same Akufo-Addo or ya bonipa 8 to Ekuomo. Akufo-Addo hasn't said nothing about it. Ombuye. This is the same Akufo-Addo. Sal has no representation under your government, sir. For 4 years, a whole constituency still paying taxes does not have representation in government. Akufo-Addo hasn't batted an eyelid about that. Ombuye. And sometimes when you hear young people speaking anyhow, as an Agboman go talk, anyhow, to the president, me personally, it bothers me because our culture, no, it affects your culture, no. When we say we come from a culture where only penny kasa, anya penny, penny, right? But the penny na se sabi uni nyansa, na se one ye en normal interest anwa. Obi ama me didi watemo. We Jimmy, that's how they talk on, and that's one corner, or your idea will corner. Obi do beba to see papa with the Jimmy. But when you bring it out and you want to come and use it on Ghanaians, when before our own eyes, you want to take our resources in the name of some stupid Ejapa deal. You don't respect us. And the least we can do is to also let you know, say, because of that, no, we also do not respect you, sir. Akufo-Addo, I'm telling you once again, January 7th, from January 8th, Opa, I'm throwing you a challenge. January 8th, try going into any public space. The day now, Odi Afinande beto form. Say my savior we media to. me crawl no ne me nsem no a me bedi nyina no eto atwa me de afena na to ho obi foforo afa afena no. The moment somebody else picks that mantle, the moment the armed forces and the police and all the institutions of state look to another person for command, for authority, that is when you will know your real name, Akufo-Addo. That is when you will know your real name. That is the tradition. They were not supposed to get up. But me sure pass it if you left them on their own free will. And come on, sorry, because you have nothing. Nothing to your name. On your share. A chest says, "Ura dem was sorry. Me, I'm tea. Me, yon hine. It is a ura a dem na samete honoma. As I was sorry. But Akufo-Addo, ura hona same sorry. Me sorry only because maybe it's a formal event and then okay, bam, let's rise up. Then yeah, sorry. But samete me baby. That may come in newspapers. Now I come and I have to so I will park him. I will watch you pass. I may even sneer at you because you are a despicable human being. For all the things that you've done to Ghanaians, you are a despicable human being. For the fact that Gregory Afoko is still in prison, you are a despicable human being. And that is why I will not stand up for you. Now, bodyguard Jimmy Bison, so no, yes, or no, so your hine, meboa. Oh, your hine, and a wounding answer say I him for and sorry, and president. And we don't know you say, hey, Akufo-Addo. Shit. Now, Matisse said the latest one so crying says, the driver so we need. Hey, Ghana, what kind of shit show be this? What kind of shit show be this? Akufo-Addo's driver, a winning parliamentary slot, as a candidature, or they could stand there to be voted on to be the member of parliament. Charlie, nipa de yensemo, but mwen kano kre. Mwen kano kre. Mwen kano kre because yan kano kre. That is when people like Abronye and Woon to me and all these people take over the narrative and talk some nonsense. Now Woon to me, how dare you? Yet you your opinions, senatia, obaya. Then you come and say nonsense about Professor Nano Pokwajima. Oh, only John Mahama Kromwa, where is he? What does that do to the development of the country? And people like this idiot Ejako guy is who you want to look up to tell you who should govern the country. How pathetic. As Ghanaians, you do baby, ye chairman, Ejako. Shit. And then let me make this clear to you. So I'm not saying say, oh yeah, profession be and so yeah, whatever be I want to me. Because listen, John Dumelo is an actor too, isn't he? Look at the work John Dumelo is doing. Look at his input, even out of parliament. So when John Dumelo comes and says, vote for me to go to parliament, you already know what he's going to do. You already know. He's giving you, a preface to what he's going to be rolling out. Now, Ejako, what has Ejako done? Okay, see you not Ghana sini you from Ejako. That is bullshit. And so question, at some point again. What I say? Because if a group of mafia be able together and try to project Ejako as he's funny, so the time Ejako is funny, no one is funny, then you no one is funny. But the forces that be decide, they say they will project Ejako. And what exactly has Ejako done? He's funny, but people used him to do that work. And take a credit be now. The credit should go to the producers who used him to do that work, not to him. He was just funny, period. But he was not even the only funny person. Now, because you are a funny person, no, and who and our baby catch him in the power of government for the next 4 years. Ejako, tag him somebody. This is the same idiot. When back in the day we were trying to have an intelligent discussion about the movie industry, asma beka say opa kono ko really gon dan ni na kragu ye me na me wo so na Ghana for so Jimmy ne so agbaje so ne asre na ni timo ni there, and then the industry keeps going downhill, and now we are the same people who are here crying. And John Mahama, I'm saying one more thing to you, sir. Sir, movie industry, the minimum say Kuma would follow or more to the witchini any idea, and they're pushing for some film bill and whatever. But please, sir, that film bill, look at it closely before you sign it. Look at it very closely before you sign it. Because it's not just as simple as that. I don't know why people are not speaking. I will speak. I went to the School of Performing Arts. I spent time and money training to be a professional director. So if people are going to school and there's no avenue for them to come out and practice, but a bill is going to be signed that puts the power in the hands of some FIPAG or whatever group of people who came together to form some association of whatever. Now, sir, if you sign that, you are making the school, the courses in the school redundant. The people who go to NAFTI, the people who go to School of Performing Arts, the people who go to College of Art, the people who go to the School of Music, they have to be brought into the whole thing. Now, Sana, you consider any bill like that. Because the bill now, the whole as it is now, most sir, it does not address the concerns of people who have been through a formal educational system to train as professionals for these things. And that's why our industry is suffering. Because you're going to give the power to people like Jackson Bentum and all these people. And what are they going to churn out? What have they churned out all these years? I have some ideas, sir. And I'll be presenting it at some point. And when I do, I'll beg you to pay close attention to those ideas before you sign the film bill. The film bill itself is not a bad idea. It is something that we need. But in its current state, let's get the input of the School of Performing Arts, of the School of Music, of the School of, you kind of saying, all the schools that are training people in this industry. Look at me. I got my degree from the school, and then I have to branch to go do something else to put food on the table. Because we'll talk about that another time. But I'm just saying, though, the topic is Akufo-Addo today, not John Mahama, but Mahama. I'm just saying. All right. So let me sum it up and go. We have other shows following up. I think it's almost time for Reggae Reverbs, right? Almost, yes. So let's sum it up and move forward. This is what I'm saying. Akufo-Addo has no respect for Ghanaians. Akufo-Addo has tricked Ghanaians. He has scammed Ghanaians. I heard you're kind of saying A+ saying on YouTube, say, yes, Akufo-Addo is a scammer or something like that. And the people were getting all nervous, even though they knew he was speaking the truth. But one other truth that we have to consider from what he was saying is, Okache is on one kasanso kahubi, and Omukuki Akufo-Addo didn't break Ghanaians. But this same guy is also here again at A+, telling us that we should give him some type of, I think he's trying to pursue some political way. Say, wo no wo kan ho amodi Akufo-Addo break and yes send wichi and sign my power bill A+. Subject for another day. But all these people, we should watch them very closely. No, we have to hold all of you accountable. Say Akufo-Addo a scam. That's a wo kan ho and amodi ne break. We have to ask you that wouldn't so a scam na wo kan ho na amodi ne break. And unim and afen wa babi ho. Okay, like I said, subject for another discussion. But people, let us treat Akufo-Addo with more contempt. Let's make him feel very disrespected even before he goes out of power. Let's do that. Let's do that because he doesn't respect us. We should also chuck it back at him. Because oba mortgage your future. Now who the hell does Akufo-Addo think he is? Makes me very angry. But the mamen call Ansana. All right. Anyways, like I was summing up, Akufo-Addo doesn't respect Ghanaians. And so Ghanaians should factor that in whatever we do. Number two, Akufo-Addo is not ready to hand over power. So we should already start thinking about ways to force him to do so. NDC, CPP, whoever has a stake, those of us who don't belong to any party who still have Ghana at heart, we are planning. Let us strategize for Akufo-Addo a planet 2, no near planet 3, or planet 4, near planet 5. By the time Akufo-Addo planet 9, near planet 10. That's what I'm saying. Because this guy has given ample signal, say he's not going to leave without a fight. And everybody knows that he's not going to come anywhere close. And I say he because this election is only a proxy election for him. Baumia is just a stooge that they're going to put there as a figurehead. This is Akufo-Addo standing again. This is Akufo-Addo standing for a third term. So let's defeat him with his outfit entirely. And we are MPP near. You should be thinking of purging your party at this time. We are MPP near. It's in your best interest to shepherd out this government so that you can reform your party for the next election. Because there's no way MPP is going to win this election. If MPP, by any freak of circumstance, comes close to even winning this election, there'll be chaos in Ghana. Chaos. Ghanaians are not ready for another. Ghanaians have endured Akufo-Addo. Ghanaians have been patient. Thankfully, Ghanaians have been through military coups before, so they're not interested in that. They have been patient, have endured. I know people they are taking the days off the wall. That could be actually Manoma take. Okay, Akufo-Addo says I can't say 8 months. Okay, Kabuma is saying how many days? Okay, 2,000 whatever days. Okay, fine. All right. Until January 7th, I will be afinane beto hono. Ya to ya boni show. Doing some aka na diwie, but diwie last time as soon as I walk boko. Because if you don't, ubehu Ghana for Bema Akufo-Addo. Charlie, at this point, it's a divine war to rescue the soul spirit of Ghana for our next generations. So, I say, Nasa Obekansim who know about the crusade that we are embarking on now. That's your own problem. But for some of us, we know we owe it a duty to put our energies into the effort to rescue Ghana from this band of hooligans, state capturers. And by the way, did you hear Nana Opoku-Agyemang's speech? Brilliant speech. Excellent speech. But have you noticed, when people in mainstream politics start using words like state capture, it is a serious matter. Because normally, and somebody like the vice presidential candidate of a political party will not use words like that, state capture, because words like that are deemed undiplomatic, number one, right? Because okay, you as a government, say obiso you see those words against you or whatever, so they try not to. But it's got to a point because so if you notice, Nana Opoku-Agyemang used the word state capture. Because some of us have been talking about state capture for months, for years now. But now you're reluctant because of course the legal implications, and the diplomatic and the pinnings. Now again. Now we are at a point where we cannot bury our head in the sand anymore. There is a state capture, and it is our duty to rescue Ghana from that state capture. Enough said. I'm out of here. My name is Kwesi, a son back home. I come in peace, I come not to please. God willing, because our studio is almost completely reset and retooled now, I'll be back here a week from now, same time. Actually, I was supposed to come with Weekend Editorial yesterday. My apologies. So next week will be Saturday, not Sunday, right? But I'll be back Saturday, set time, with another edition of Weekend Editorial on Radio Culture. Till such times, my name, as I said, Kwesi Sonbakwa. I come in peace, I come not to please. Please don't flip your dial, stay right here. Reggae Reverbs will be up next, and we have an interview with the dancehall queen, Akle. Stick up in. Oh God, and family enjoy. We know vex enough. Oh. We know vex enough.